Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. Got a little wind going on here today, so hopefully that doesn't pick up too much in the video. Had to bring out the gorgeous estate RBC Meerschaum that my friend Jeremy gave me. Had to bring out this work of art for a musical work of art that we're going to talk about today. So as always, let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. So, in the past, I have brought this gorgeous Meerschaum out when we were talking about a painting, some work of graphic art. And today, we're going to talk about a work of musical art. I've often talked about music on this channel, but I have not yet talked about classical music. That's what we're going to talk about in this episode. Specifically, we're going to talk about the Requiem Mass by Mozart. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I am thinking of this particular version of it, this Phillips recording, and we'll get into the paperwork here and talk about the date of this. But we have Margaret Price as soprano, Trudelie Schmidt as mezzo-soprano, Francisco Irae as tenor, and Theo Adam as bass. And this was, the choir is the Leipzig Radio Chorus, conducted by Peter Schreier. This is the version that I like the best. Now, there's some of that strong wind, so hopefully that does not distract us from our talking. So, let's see if there's a date on this. And wouldn't you know it, there's not. I do not see a date on this recording. Oh, 1983. 1983, so 40 years ago? You got to be kidding me. 40 years ago, 41 years ago. And I didn't get this in 83. Well, I know I didn't get it in 83, but I did get it in the late 80s, I think. Probably too many versions to count that you could find on Spotify or whatever. But I particularly like this one. I really, really enjoy the voices. It's the Dresden State Orchestra doing the orchestra on this, and I just particularly enjoy this version. Now, let's talk about this. Mozart's Requiem Mass. What can we say here? Mozart, if you know Mozart, 1756 to 1791, so that's the time period for him, 18th century. The Requiem Mass, or Mass for the Dead, I want to focus on, the whole thing is beautiful. The whole thing is absolutely beautiful. I don't know that there's a particular run time on this for the whole thing. Again, it doesn't have that information on here. But I want to talk about the sequentia. So the parts in the middle, if you will. The Dies Irae, Tuba Mirum, Rex Tremendae. Recordare is very good as well, but and then I want to focus on Confutatis, and then Lacrimosa. What I love about Mozart's Requiem, and especially in those sections that I just named, and you have not a lot here in the booklet, but you've got some pictures. Here's the director, or sorry, the conductor, and the singers. There's Margaret Price. There's Trudley Schmidt, Francisco Reiza, and Theo Adam. And I'm looking at this really just for the words. Of course, the whole thing is in Latin. That's part of the reason I like it, of course. But the music absolutely fits the words that fit the music. It is just, it's perfection. It's absolute perfection. So if you don't know Mozart's Requiem Mass, let me give you a little taste. So, the Dies Irae is this beautiful, a beautiful part, and it talks about the day of judgment. And it says, Dies Irae, Dies Illa, the day of wrath, that day, Solvet Saeculum in favilla, will dissolve time itself, will dissolve the age into ashes. Teste David cum Sibylla, with David as a witness, meaning King David, writer of the Psalms, and the Sibyl, who was one of the pagan priestesses of Apollo. All right? Now, what that stanza is saying is, look, there's a day of wrath coming. There's a judgment day is coming. And not only does a Hebrew tradition have this, Christian tradition has this, but even the pagans had some notion that there was an ending of time coming. I'll see if I can find a good version that I like online or on YouTube. We'll link in the show notes here. I guarantee you probably heard the Dies Irae. And it is so strong. So you heard what it was about, right? What I just said. And it comes in, it just starts off, boom. Dies Irae, Dies Illa, Solvet Saeculum in favilla, Teste David cum Sibylla. And wonderful. Da 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 da. Very the orchestral arrangement, the vocals, it is so strong. The next stanza that goes with that, quantus tremor est futurus, how great the trembling will be, quando judex est venturus, when the judge will come, right? Christ Jesus, the judge at the end of time, cuncta stricte discussurus. He's going to shake everything to its very, very core. And that part, quantus tremor est futurus, quando judex est venturus, cuncta stricte discussurus. And it comes back in Dies Irae, Dies Illa. And the next thing you know, you've got these voices that are overlapping each other. And again, with the orchestra, it is just absolutely stunning. And it fits a part that's talking about Judgment Day, the end of time as we know it. And then comes the next part. After that comes the Tuba Mirum section. And Tuba Mirum, it says, Tuba Mirum spargane sonum, a trumpet spreading a miraculous sound, an amazing sound, per sepulchra regionum, through the tombs of all the regions, coget omnes ante thronum, will compel, will drive everyone before the throne, meaning, of course, the throne of God. You say, well, what's that going to sound like? What will the trumpet at the end of time sound like that drives everyone out of the tombs before the very throne of God? The answer is in what Mozart came up with. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm not even going to describe it to you. You just need to listen to it. This incredible horn that starts us off, and then you have the bass fellow. I believe the bass sings this. What is it? I used to have it. Trying to remember how that part goes. Tuba Mirum smagain sonum. And it's so you've got this wonderful horn sound, and then you've got this wonderful bass voice coming in, so strong, but it's slow, and it's deep, and it gets the idea of compelling, koget, compelling or driving souls before the very throne of judgment. Now, other verses go on. We're not going to go through all these verses. Then comes the next little part. The Rex Tremendae Maiestatis, the king of tremendous majesty, qui salvando salvis gratis, you who save for free. Gratis, right? We still use that word, even in English, gratis. You who save for free, salvandos, those who need to be saved. Salva me, fons pietatis, save me, O you fountain of piety. We're talking about Jesus here. We're talking about the king of tremendous majesty. What does that sound like? Man, Mozart brings out his best here. Remember how that goes. Rex Tremendae Maiestatis. And just, you get this powerful, strong sound, overwhelming sound. It's exactly what you would expect for the majesty of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Rex Tremendae Maiestatis. The layering of the four parts. You've got, the strong orchestra coming in with this. And I gotta tell you, folks, this is just a little sampler, what I'm doing here with the talking. You want to listen to this, let me tell you. You want to listen to this. And then, moving on, the whole thing is beautiful. The whole thing is beautiful. You owe it to yourself to listen to Mozart's Requiem Mass with a good set of headphones. Well, I want to talk about one other part. The Confutatis Maledictis. Now, you may have heard this somewhere before as well. Confutatis Maledictis. Flammis acribus addictis. Voca me cum benedictis. He says, with all those who have been cursed, right? So the people who are not going to heaven, right? Thrown into confusion, right? And with harsh flames, flammis acribus addictis, having been added into the mix, right? So these folks are going to be burning in hell. Voca me, call me, cum benedictis, call me along with the blessed. And again, you've got some music and vocals that capture this perfectly. And I don't know about you, but it was the end of time, and all of creation is just going up in smoke and everything, you know, from atoms to mountains, and it's all coming down, baby. And there's this amazing sound that's compelling the dead to rise up out of their tombs and come before the judgment seat of God. And here's the tremendous King Jesus who's coming in. And suddenly you realize, hey, man, there's some people that have been cursed and are going to hell. And not because God cursed them, right? But because of their own sin and their lack of acceptance, their refusal to accept the sacrifice and the grace of Jesus Christ. They are now self-condemned to the eternal flames. Man, you're going to say, you bet, call me with the blessed. I don't want to go there. I want to be with those who have accepted Christ as their Lord and Savior. I want to be in heaven, right? And so you imagine all that, and there's this powerful Confutatis Maledictis, it's all this. It's so strong. It's such a strong piece. And I got to tell you, some of the other pieces are as wispy, ethereal, in contrast to these violent, strong parts that I've just described. I am telling you, my friends, Mozart's Requiem Mass. It is worth your time to listen to. If you're familiar with it, want to hear what you think about it. So seriously, talk to us specifically about, I want to focus specifically on Mozart and Mozart's Requiem. So, questions for you. What do you like about Mozart? What do you not like about Mozart? Are you a Mozart fan at all? And specifically, what do you like about the Requiem? Some of the parts that I just described, some of the parts that I didn't describe. I mean, the whole thing is beautiful. And maybe if you've never heard it before, go check out a link that we'll try to put on here. Listen to it and then post a comment. Tell us what you think about it. Folks, as Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.